In this section, I'm going to talk a little bit about using the tempo settings on the TD-12. If I press the tempo button just here, my tempo screen arrives up and I've got two options over this side to switch on. First thing I can do is I can switch on the click and obviously switch it off, or I've got LED on and off, and you can see here I get an LED here. So first of all, what the hell are they for? And secondly, is there a quick way of doing that? Well, from any screen that I'm on, if I press the shift key and the tempo button, then it will start. Now if I go back through the tempo screen and talk about this LED, the click's got obvious purposes. I can control the volume of that down here on this fader. So to get to that, at the moment you can see it's on the wrong light's lit up. So if I hold the shift key down and press mixer, it'll change between the two. So I go to the bottom one, I put my click on, and I pull my fader up and down to whatever setting I want. So this LED, the purpose of that is basically at a gig, if I go through my kits, I can set each kit to be a different tempo. But let's pretend that we're playing in a function band, right? So this first kit could be Mustang Sally, second kit could be Brown Eyed Girl, third kit could be Kings of Leon, Sex on Fire, and the fourth one could be Elvis Presley, right? And what you could do with those different kits is each one could have their own tempo. And what that means then is before you start the song, you leave the LED flash in, and you count the band in the same at every gig. Now I can leave that on permanently. As I change kits, it changes at 1, 2, 3, 4, and I set each kit separately. Quite a useful function, that is. Right, let's talk about these other guys over here though. So first thing, how do we change the speed? Well, the plus key is up, minus key is down, and turning this jumps it around. The type of click, we've got lots of different sounds. So one of the things that the Roland modules are kind of famous for is this funny voice.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
And I can just scroll through those guys to whichever sound I prefer. And me personally, go to the end, back 3, tambourine. If I'm teaching, I often use the counting. It seems to help people. Pan, obviously, do I want it in the center if I'm wearing headphones, or in certain speakers, or do I want it to the side? Ambience, send level, do I want any reverb on that? I'm not sure why I would want that, but you never know. Maybe you want to click that sounds like you're playing in a cave. And the outputs. So the output is used for one, because it can mean that I can quickly send it straight to the headphones only. But for the moment, we'll let that come out of everywhere. Time signature. You have to have a little bit of musical knowledge here, but this just gives you the option between the different time signatures, so 2, 4, 4, 4, 7, 8, and so on. And at the bottom, we've got the interval. This, we have to know a little bit about this to understand what's going on. If we're playing in 4/4, which most songs are, then we're getting 1, 2, 3, 4. If I want eighth notes, I just press the down button on the cursor key here, and I change that up to eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3. If I want triplets, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 16ths, 1 E under, 2 E under, 3 E under, 4 E under, and that's as high as that goes. Now, if I wanted it counting,
2, 3, 4, 1, 2.
something I have to keep in mind is
4, 1,
I can change this
2,
first one to 7 if I want,
2,
but it's
3,
counting 7, 4. 1, 6, 7, 1, 2. If I want it counting eighth notes,
5,
if I change this, it's counting eighth notes at the same speed. So what I have to do is change this to 7, 8.
1, 2, 3, 4,
And then change this to 8.
4, 5, 6, 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, and so on.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay. The count settings then, all of this is to do with when you record on here using the sequencer, or when you play along with the backing tracks are on here, so the patterns. So count in play is off, so if I press play on here, just something comes straight in. If I put the count on, I might have a measure when I press play.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and.
Then I'm in that way, and I can have 1 measure or 2 measures. The same here for recording, so if I press the record button at the moment, it's going to give me 4 counts, and then it's going to start recording. During play clicks, in other words, if I'm playing along with this, and I switch that on, then it will count. And during recording, do I want it on or off? And for click settings, the other thing you're going to need to know about is the tap. On here, we can tap the tempo, and the computer will figure out how fast that is. So if I'm in a rehearsal and someone says, oh, let's play this song about this speed, I can then tap this, well not tap this, I can press the tap button. At the moment it's saying the tap switch is switched off, or I want it switched on, otherwise it's not going to work. At the moment I can choose which pad is a tap switch, so I can change that to be, for instance, the snare. And every time I hit it, up at the top here, look, the speed's changing. The default one is the preview button, which is this guy here. You can set that to be whatever you want. You might have a separate pad just for that. Every time you start that, it speeds up or slows down. Final thing in here then, which most people won't need to know about anyway, is sync. So if you're trying to sync this to another sound source, another MIDI device is going to be controlling the tempo of this one, then you need to set that to one of the other settings. So in here we've got internal, external, auto, remote, and that's a lot. And for the click settings, tempo settings, I think that covers just about everything you're going to need to know.